Hello, welcome to Willows into World. Today I'm going to share with you my December TBR. So as you might have already seen, I've done a little bit of shopping on my shelves and picked out what books I want to read for the month of December. Now, I never do TBR videos because I'm a mood reader, so I read whatever I want to as and when the mood takes me. But in around, I think it was June-ish time, something like that, I had finished my 50 books, which was my challenge for the year 2019. I wanted to finish 50 books. And then I thought, well, what if I can read 100 by November? Then I can spend December just rereading predominantly old favourites that I love and that I want to reread but haven't for a little while. So that is what I'm going to plan on doing. However, there's a couple of books that are new to me, centred around Christmas, that I also want to read, and I'll show you those first and then I'll show you the books that I'm thinking of rereading. Bear in mind, please, this is not set in stone, so if you see my December reading wrap-up and you're like, hold on, she didn't read so-and-so book, it's because I'm a mood reader. So I'll say I might read these, but I also might not. Little disclaimer. Right, starting off, I have Silent Night Christmas Mysteries, edited by Martin Edwards. This is a collection of short stories from various different authors of Christmas mysteries. So we have The Blue Carbuncle, I think, by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. We have got The Flying Stars by G.K. Chesterton, so that'll be a Father Brown, I presume. We've got Dorothy L. Sayers in there as well, so we've got, also got a Marjorie Allingham. So yeah, hopefully I'll really enjoy this one. I love the cover. I think the cover of these British Library crime classics are just beautiful. The other new book to me that I want to read is Angela Thirkell, Christmas at High Rising. I believe this is a collection of short stories all just centred around Christmas time. It's a very little book. I've wanted to read this for a few years and I've never ended up reading it. The mood has never taken me. So perhaps it'll be my year to read it. Those are the two kind of new books that I want to read. Now on to the rereading. Right, first of all, Agatha Christie, my favourite author. I don't know about Agatha Christie, simply because I want to reread everything. As you know, I've read all of Agatha Christie's works as Agatha Christie, so nothing is a surprise to me. So I do think maybe I should reread Hercule Poirot's Christmas, because that is a great one, but it's not one of my favourites. And cosy Christmas time, for some reason I always fancy Sad Cypress. I don't know why. It's not set at Christmas. I also am craving The Mysterious Affair at Styles. So we might end up reading nothing. We might end up reading about 5 Agatha Christie's, but we will just see. So that's why I haven't picked any at the moment. I'll just one day be like, I want to read an Agatha Christie and I want to reread this one. So yeah, I have pre-purchased 2 new Agatha Christie facsimiles, which is Sad Cypress and The Mysterious Affair at Styles, so I can reread them in those beautiful editions. I'm not saying that these editions aren't wonderful, these are my other Poirot editions, but yeah, the facsimiles are just amazing. So anyway, other than that, a non-fiction I want to reread is this one, Suffragette, The Battle for Equality by David Roberts. This was my favourite non-fiction book of last year. It was absolutely amazing. It's got the most beautiful illustrations inside like this, and I have been doing so much work on the suffragettes recently and doing so much research, future videos to come, that I really want to reread this and see what I think of it now that I know a bit more about the suffragettes and the suffragists and the suffrage movement in general. So yeah, I want to reread this because I just absolutely adored it last year. I thought it was absolutely amazing and quite moving. So yeah, I highly recommend this. I don't know if many people pick this up after my recommendation, but read it. It's amazing. Then I have a whole load of fiction that I want to reread, starting with The Tale of Gloucester. This is my very old battered copy that I had as a child, which actually I think it's my brother's first and then it got passed down to me. As you can see, it is not in the best condition, but it is stunning. The Tale of Gloucester is an absolute classic to read around Christmas time, isn't it? So yeah, I want to reread this. I think I pretty much reread this every year around Christmas. I might pick up some more Beatrix Potter as well, because Beatrix Potter is just cosy, isn't it? So yeah. Some more children's books that I want to reread. Paddington and the Christmas Surprise by, of course, Michael Bond. I think this will be wonderful. And who doesn't love Paddington? So I want to reread that as well. I would also like to reread my favourite children's book, and that is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. This is my beautiful copy that I have. My copy that I had as a child is not its best. The pages fell out. And the reason for that is quite simply because my dad used to read it to me, and he used to do all the voices and stuff. And he ended up reading to me so much that if he tried to skip a little bit, because I mean, it's not the slimmest book in the world, if he tried to skip a little bit, I would know. And I'd be like, no, start over. You know, like Sheldon in the Big Bang Theory? I was that annoying. My copy is from Reader's Digest, and it has the most beautiful little illustrations. So it's been a couple of years since I've reread my favourite children's book, so I think it deserves a reread. Then I have this big lump here. Oh, can you work out what it is? This is Giant Days. These are 1 to 11, which is where I'm currently at now. The next one comes out, number 12 comes out in March, I think, 2020. And as we are not there yet, I don't have it yet. I have a couple of extras as well that they produce, but I don't fancy rereading that. I just fancy rereading the story from the beginning. However, the reason why I'm umming and ahhing over to read this one is because if I do reread this, this will be my 3rd time this year that I am rereading Giant Days. I reread it last year around Christmas time and into the new year. I also reread it in the middle of the year, and then I'll reread it at the end of the year. So that's why I'm umming and ahhing whether to read it, but I think maybe I'll do one a day. Read one a day, because it's just wonderful, wonderful, and I just adore the story. And Giant Days is just the best comic ever, and you should read it. Thanks very much. And then we have a couple of Persephone classics. So I first of all have Patience by John Coates. I read this a few years ago, adored it, gave it 5 stars, and I haven't reread it since. What on earth is going on? So I want to reread it. It's number 99 in the catalogue if anybody is interested. It is about a woman who has an affair, if I remember rightly. And the ending, I remember the ending to this, I was like, literally like that. So I want to reread it. It's not the biggest book in the world, but yeah, I gave it 5 stars. I remember how amazed I was. And I remember we were sitting watching TV, or Mark was playing his game or something, and I was just sat there reading, completely absorbed and not paying attention to anything around me. So want to reread that because it's been a little while. And then I also want to reread my favourite book of all time. I haven't reread it this year, I don't know why. I've been wanting to, but I've also been saving it for this month, and that is Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day by Wilfred Watson. I am going to get all the snacks, all the hot chocolate with marshmallows, and I'm going to sit and read this under a duvet with my puppy next to me, and yeah, I can't wait to read this because, oh, it's the best book ever. If you've not read Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day, what are you doing? Read it, it's so good. It comes with illustrations, and it's from the 1930s, and it's just perfect for me. It's just perfect. It's everything. It's so me in a book. Read it. See it? Hi. What do you think of the book? Shall we read the book? Yeah? What? Okay. Can you still see me? Go on then, down you go. Right, okay, so that I think is it. That's all I'm gonna say for now that I want to reread, but I'm also possibly thinking of rereading a Barbara Pym, maybe Jane and Prudence, maybe Excellent Women again. I'm also maybe thinking The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, because I haven't reread that for a little while, so oh, so many books and so little time. Anyway, that is it for this video. I would love to know if you plan on doing any rereading in December. If so, what books are you going to read or reread around this cosy Christmas period? So that is it for today's video. Take care, and I shall see you soon for the next one. Bye for now.